Sandeep. Welcome back to Research Methodology. Today we will be discussing about validity. Okay, so what is validity? Okay, it's like a measure of authenticity. Okay, authenticity. Authenticity is like which can tell you like yes, we can use this tool or we can use this object. Okay, for example, like pharma companies valid a particular medicine for a particular disorder, disease. Okay, it's like nowadays the Dolus is famous among us. So it's like they have given a validity to use that particular medicine for a particular thing. Okay, so that's like same. We validate our researches, our tools, so we can use that. Okay, use them for a particular purpose or reason. Okay, or we can generalize them. That's known as authenticity or validity. It says four type, like first is internal, second external, third is construct, fourth is statistical. Okay, so we'll talk about these. First is internal validity. Okay, in this we ensure that like independent variable only influences that dependent variable, not any confounding variable. That means, as we have discussed about variables, there are three variables. Okay, independent, dependent, and confounding. Okay, confounding is like a disturbing element. So we see that independent only influence that dependent variable, confounding variable is not there. Okay, and that independent variable is not influences confounding variables. If it influence, so we'll get a different result which we should get. Okay, so only these two should be there, confounding variable should not be there. Okay, so for this we control all various confounding variables. Okay, how to control? Like we do experiment at a particular pace, like we restrict all the things. For example, like when we are doing anything on a music or any sound therapy. Okay, so we'll reduce all the noises. Okay, and like for example, if you have seen any biometric anything like which have some waves, for example we use here GDV. Okay, accugraph. In this thing, like if you are wearing something like metals, anything, so we remove them. Okay, so that's not interfere in the readings. Okay, like that. So we control all the confounding variables. Okay, only independent and dependent variable are there, and the independent variable influences dependent variable. Okay, so by this we have high internal validity. Okay, if we do these things, then we have high internal validity. Okay, hope you understand this. Next is external validity. Okay, now in this we ensure that the study of result can be generalized across different study design. Okay, like there are three different places, so we are like doing research here, here, and here. So we are getting some results. Okay, so here maybe we are doing like a single group, in a 3-4 groups, in 2 groups, so there will be a different study design. But if the results is coming same, okay, like we are getting a same result from all the tests we are doing, okay, then we can generalize it to the whole population. Generalize. Okay, like if you are saying like we have done on 100 people, we get Brahmari reduces blood pressure. Okay, if we are done in 100, let's suppose 1000 people, so if we getting a very good result, so we can generalize like Brahmari reduce BP for all the peoples. Okay, either it's 10,000, 10 lakh, any number you can say. Okay, so we are generalizing the result because we are getting a very good result in every design, like a same result. So we can say, okay, yes, this is doing effect, this is making any impact on this. So we can say, yeah, it will impact on whole population. So example, when study is conducted in many places, when we conduct the same study in many places, then we'll get the external validity, so we can generalize the results. Now the construct validity. Okay, construct is like an unseen variable that cannot be directly measured, like happiness. Okay, we can't measure happiness directly. Any psychological variables you can take, like anger, anxiety, sadness, happiness, emotions, we can't measure them, okay, directly. So it is usually used in psychology. Okay, so example, anxiety, depression, happiness are the constructs, okay, unseen variable. So construct validity ensure the tool is really measuring what is supposed to measure. Okay, now to measure happiness, we'll make one questionnaire. Okay, questionnaire will make. So construct validity tell us, like, if you are using this questionnaire for measuring happiness, so it should be measuring only happiness. Okay, not any other variable. Okay, hope you getting this. Construct validity tells about that the tool which we have made only measuring that particular variable. Okay, not other variable. Okay, for example, happiness questionnaire really measure happiness and not anything else. Okay, and for this construct validity, we have one operational definition. Okay, because construct cannot be measured directly, so to measure construct, we operationally define. Okay, this is not here. We operationally define construct. Okay, for example, we have taken here anxiety. Okay, now we cannot directly measure the anxiety, so we'll use something like which define the anxiety, like changes galvanic skin response during arousal period. Okay, there's some like skin response changes when we are in an anxious mood. Okay, when there's anxiety, so there's something galvanic skin response is there. So we define it operationally as a number of times the person stammers during a 5-minute extempore speech. Okay, so it's like we are defining it by something, like how a person stammers. Okay, so we will read this, we will calculate this, or we measure this, so we can measure the anxiety. Okay, so this is like operational definition. We make construct cannot be directly measured, so we operationally define that construct. Okay, so that's come under construct validity, and this the subpart operational definition. Last, it's simple statistical validity. Like when we have calculated, we have collected all the data. Okay, so to calculate the final result, we use some statistical tests. For example, the simple one are like mean, mode, median. Okay, standard deviation, variance, we all calculate this. So we should ensure that correct statistical tests are performed to design and conclusion are valid. Okay, there are different tests also, like for example, t test as there, or we can say between group, it's come under same. Okay, so like for continuous variable, we do t test, ANOVA test for like 2 to 3 more group. When there are more than 2 group, okay, more than 2 group, we do ANOVA test, RM ANOVA. When they are repeated measure, okay, there are many tests. Okay, and for like categorical variables, we do chi-square test. So there are different tests, and we ensure that these correct statistical tests are performed to the design. Okay, and the valid conclusion are made. Okay, all the tests calculate the different things. We have the p values here, so we'll talk about these in detail about later. Okay, the different tests and different designs. So this is today, this for the today statistical test, construct, and internal external validity. If you have any query, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you, we'll meet on the next video. Bye bye, take care.